And my strength point is editing. I'm really professional at Photoshop, and I'm proud of it.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I can edit photos, and I'm right now I'm more editor than a photographer, and I really want to be a professional in photography as well. And because it is a little hard to enter into a career in Switzerland when you are new with no experience here, and not even a certification, and without a certification here.
Yes.
I try to find some suitable courses for me in photography area, and I searched into the internet and found a Swiss Photo Club.
Yes.
And I thought that this program suits me because it has a valid certification, and it is pretty, it covers many areas in photography, such as portraits, other areas of photography, and I think it will lead me into a proper career. And this is, I think, my background and my
Okay.
goal to.
And so you never tried video photography, only Photoshop so far. Do you know Lightroom too?
No, I just worked with Photoshop because I thought it was enough for me because
Yes.
it was complete and didn't need any other um, softwares. So um, I took the Photoshop and I tried to be professional in it, not work with so many softwares and be mediocre in everything. So
Yes.
yeah, I know just Photoshop.
Okay.
And I did photo shoots, but I do portraits, not other kind of photography. For example, nature photography, I'm not so good at it. But portrait is my focus. But I want to enter the other areas of photography.
Cool. That's great. And I think we just had Eva join us, but she's still on mute.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello, Eva.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I had some problems with my computer and my connection is slow. So I'm keeping if possible, I keep the video away.
No problem.
No
No
problem.
problem. As long as you can hear us well, that's good. And we can hear you well.
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay, perfect. We just did some small introduction. So anyway, you didn't miss any content. I introduced myself as, I'm the founder of Swiss Photo Club, and I'm also managing all the long-term programs, planning and assignment and students and everything. And Zeynep just introduced herself. Maybe you can also talk a little bit about yourself so that I can really customize my presentation to your needs. So a bit about yourself, your adventure with photography, what brought you to us, and also, of course, which program you're interested in.
Okay. Well, I'm living currently in Geneva, and I'm actually moving to Zurich in October. So that's why I'm also like looking for opportunities either in Geneva, if it's something kind of a short term, or then long term potentially in Zurich. But I would say I'm quite a beginner in the photography area. I started last year. I bought my first camera, and I started to experiment with the camera, more, let's say, landscape photos, and then with some portraits, and I would say only like a couple of months ago I started to be more and more interested in the food photography. So I decided and I researched and went ahead and bought a new lens for my camera and started to experiment with that. So I think I would say I'm definitely a beginner. Even if I've done some online courses, I realized that first of all, I don't maybe practice enough. And second of all, I somehow always tend to go to the automatic settings instead of take the time and experience with manual, because it's just, you're in a comfort zone. And I mean, definitely I see that the lens, the changing or having the different lens helps, and there are better quality of pictures, but there's still a lot to learn about photography, the lights, how to even use the camera. But I'm definitely more interested, let's say, food photography, as well as the more nature photographing nature, whether it's landscape or details in the nature. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And so actually you might be classmates, maybe. We'll see. Because she's also interested in the 8 weeks, so that's great.
Okay.
Okay, so I just ask for 1 second, because the third person just sent me a message that she's trying to connect as well. I'll just reply to her so that she doesn't miss it. Okay, I sent her a message. I hope she can join, otherwise I'll reach her. So I think you guys already read the basic information on the website, so I'm not going to just repeat them. It's so that we don't lose time on it. Yeah. I will tell you a little bit about why we created this program and what it's for, okay? And then, then I will go into the details of the differences between 4 weeks and 8 weeks program. I'm not going to go too much into the 1 year, because as I understand, at least you guys are not interested in that one. But if you have questions, of course, just shoot. So, so the idea behind this is that a lot of, actually we have almost for 1,500 students per year across Switzerland, and some of them just join one course and another course and another course, trying to become a professional. But we did not have, until last year, we did not have a program to offer them with a full-fledged, everything included. Okay, you know what, take 1 month or 2 months just to learn this thing. So this is why we created the 8-week program. I think in the world, there are probably a couple of schools who give this kind of program. I actually attended myself one of them in New York. That was with New York Film Academy. And you know, shamelessly, I stole some of their good ideas. And then I also created, of course, much better program, because we also have a lot of experience teaching ourselves. And their program, I found, was a little bit outdated in some respects. So we did much more up-to-date information and up-to-date, and also much more helpful information, I think. Mm-hmm. And our aim is not just to create a good photographer, but also our aim is to create photographers that are successful. And there are two different things. I know some great photographers who are not successful. And I know some okay photographers who are very successful. And there's a reason for that, is because when you are a photographer, you are a business person as well. You manage a business, which is your own self. And so what we try to do now with our program is to, first of all, make you a good photographer, so that what you're offering is good and people are happy. But at the same time, what we are trying to offer is that, you know, we train you like an MBA, mini MBA. Of course, I don't claim to be an MBA, but I think very, very targeted MBA, to make sure that you learn from the most successful photographers, the most successful business practices. Mm-hmm. This way, you will be able to, when you actually make a turn into becoming a professional, if you want to, you can be successful. If you decide to keep it as a second job, you will still be successful. Because you will know how to find clients, how to find your niche, how to find a lot of different things. So, which is a lot of courses do not offer. So there are two aspects. One is about becoming a photographer, and one is about understanding the business. About becoming a photographer, we have, I'm gonna actually share full screen so that you see my website. Just a second. Share screen. Okay. Now you should see. So we have several course modules. I'll just talk a little bit about this. So basically we have a Photo One, which is going to teach you all the technical and the basics. So this is a combination of our beginners and intermediate program plus a little bit more. Imaging One is about using Lightroom and Photoshop, where Zeynep probably could also help us a little bit in this way, because she is also an expert in Photoshop, as I understand. So we teach you both, and basically it's not only teaching, it's also editing your photos that you took together with us. So that there will be an instructor when you're working on your photos, and you will not lose so much time by just getting stuck on one simple tool and then losing 2 hours in front of your computer. So there will be someone there. The vision and style is about developing your own style and self-expression. So this is really improving you on the artistic side and how to become creative and how to create a style that belongs to you. And this will push you outside your comfort zone in different aspects. The shooting lab is going to be about just practice. Usually outside, you go out and then you basically shoot and you practice what you learned during the Photo One and Vision and Style. So your instructors will be in touch with each other so that you will be able to do this program and then practice everything that you have done. So Business of Photography is going to be about understanding the market, finding out what you want to do, helping you find out what you want to do. A lot of times our students in our 4 weeks and 8 weeks program don't know yet what they want, which is okay, which is absolutely normal. If you were absolutely sure, I would be suspicious actually, because you know it's hard to be absolutely sure in the beginning. So then we will show you a lot about, we will analyze some successful photographers like business-wise in here and also in the world, and see what you can reapply from them and how you can basically create a website, how you can do SWOT analysis, how you can create contacts. And we will also inform our contacts in the business, in the industry. So they might actually one day, maybe one guy from Canon can come and do a presentation about the Canon cameras. Or one day, one guy can come and talk about, you know, this distributor photography system in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. Another guy can come and talk about how to contact agencies and how to contact magazines. So we will see that that's based on their availability, of course. Then we will talk about ways of seeing. Ways of seeing is a class where you will study past, and not so much past, but also famous photographers and see what made them famous and how you can reapply from them. Then we have the museum gallery tours, which are depending on the gallery. I mean, right now, obviously, because of COVID, there's not so much exhibition going on. So that will be depending on an ad hoc basis. And then we will talk about practice workshops. So practice workshops is actually something we give for free. Normally, we already have practice workshops that you can join. It's about 90 francs per workshop. But anyway, you will be joining all of them for free. So this is something that you can do as an extra if you want to. Okay. So these are the main program. You should expect about 30 hours per week program. It's heavy. It's loaded. And let me see, I had yeah, here we go. This was, for example, from the previous 4-week class. Okay. So not 30 hours, but 25 to 28, maybe it could be 24 in 1 week, but it's going to be fully loaded. Basically, you should assume that a full day, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Friday usually is half day, and then Wednesday, and because this is not every week, this is just overall. And then Wednesday, usually we do the shooting, like the 4 hours practice. Okay.
Yeah.
And the biggest difference of the 8 weeks versus 4 weeks is that in 8 weeks, you will do much more practice and you will also be able to shoot with strobes. So you will have a more studio photography experience.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the 4 weeks, we simply don't have time for it. Okay.
Yeah.
In Zurich, our studio is not so big, so we might have to rent a studio just for you guys during the second month. I mean, basically, this is in the last few weeks. So it's not going to be in the first 4 weeks for sure, because you're not ready yet, but afterwards we will try to see.
Mm-hmm.
We have some studio lights in Zurich, but you know, for the maybe last 2 weeks, we might actually rent a much more bigger studio. In Geneva, we have a quite big, fully equipped studio. So in Geneva, it will be all in-house.
Okay. Okay, so from my side, yeah, I didn't know that it was a full time, and that was maybe my miss not looking at the website properly.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, I don't know when would this course start, because I mean, I'm myself in a full-time job, so for me it would be impossible to do a 4-week course full-time.
Okay. So it's good that we had this meeting. So
Yes.
you might want to double check then the 12 weeks program.
Okay.
So for the people who already have a full-time job, we have a 12-week program.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically in the evenings.
Okay.
The one in Geneva starts on 21st of September.
Uh-huh.
There's already one person, but it's in French. Do you speak French?
Not so well. Yeah,
Okay.
so it would be more the English one, which is only in January, right?
The one in Geneva. Now, I mean, we'll see. So the English is normally in January. However, the one subscription to the 21st of September, he also speaks English. But I will need to check with him if he convert to English, if he's fine. But normally it's on.
But it's also in Geneva. Is there anything, or is this also something that Zurich doesn't really organize, this type of, let's say, evening courses?
We have actually in Zurich, starting also on 21st of September. What we were planning to do is actually probably add, if there is demand, another date for the 12 weeks in Zurich in English.
In English, okay.
Because I think we had one more person asking for it, so.
Yeah, because
yeah.
that's, so as of October, I will be in Zurich, and then definitely I would say I would be interested in the evening courses,
Okay.
and in English in Zurich.
Okay, so so we'll keep you informed about the 12 weeks. So the 12 weeks is the same content as the 4 weeks, but obviously much less intense. So it's over 12 weeks. So you basically have, I think, 6 hours total, like maybe, like, let's say Monday evening, 3 hours, Wednesday evening, 3 hours, and maybe one weekend during the week, something like this. So it's basically adjusted so that you don't have to take days off or something.
Okay, yeah, that sounds more doable.
Yeah.
And this quick question also, so this is, I see that it's a certified, so you would get a certification.
Correct.
And this certification, in terms of, let's say, your experience, has this been something, let's say that if one day we would like to establish our business or take this as a career option, is this something that is valued, especially in Switzerland, and if, let's say, companies or businesses would engage or reach out, that they would be looking at this certificate as a requirement?
In photography, certificate is never a fully requirement. It's not like you employ somebody just because they have a certificate.
Yeah.
Your real entry to the job will be your portfolio.
Exactly.
Right? But if you have two candidates, one who just attended some photography course somewhere versus someone attended EDUCA certified program, you will have a significant advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
Because
understand.
we all know about the self-learning people who actually have so many gaps in their knowledge. It's incredible. So
Yeah.
anybody who's hiring that is a little bit of knowledge of photographers, they will know that you know what you're talking about versus somebody who just learned
Yeah.
themselves here and there with some free YouTube videos. And these people end up with us at the end because a lot of times they have too many gaps in their knowledge.
Okay.
But,
And
but this certification is completely valid in Switzerland or in the
Of
Europe
course,
or
Educa,
yeah.
Educa is a Swiss government certification. We get audited
Mhm.
every year, which is not
Mhm.
fun, but we do actually have, they actually look at all of our program, what we teach,
Yeah.
all our processes. It's a very, very rigorous check. And this is for all the continuing education
Mhm.
schools. It's not obligatory, so anybody can teach photography, but if you want to have this certificate, you need to go through all this certification.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
what is the title of the certification?
sorry?
What is the title of the certification? For example, um, what is written on the certification?
So what we will write on the certification is that you have completed the program. We will write the name of the program, and then you have attended the courses, and then you have actually finished with success.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, good.
And of course, you will have the Educa label on the
Mm-hmm.
certificate.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, and about portfolio, you said, do you help us to make a portfolio? Because, you know, when you take photos for just your hobby, it is not something that worth to be on a portfolio, but maybe from the practices on this course or the photos we shoot during this course, maybe is it possible to make a portfolio out of them or?
I think so. I mean, that really depends on your dedication.
Yeah.
We had students who were so dedicated, like every off time they had, they were going out and shooting, even if it's not a practice session or something.
Yeah.
And you will have lots of homework from each class.
Mm-hmm.
So if you end up doing your homeworks, you should normally have a lot of photos for your portfolio. I mean, when I was doing the 8 weeks program in New York, I
Mm-hmm.
was obsessed. I mean, I didn't do anything else. Every weekend I was going out shooting. Every day I had courses, and this really improved me. And also, I have so many of my photos are from that 8 weeks program.
Uh-huh.
So definitely, I mean, if you do dedicate yourself, you will have lots of pictures for your portfolio.
Yeah. So thanks.
Can I ask how many years have you done photography?
Myself, I started 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been,
I've
over
been here
10.
around, yeah, but professionally, I switched professional photography in 2013. No, so 2014, sorry. So
Okay.
2014, I switched from a hobby to professional.
Okay. And
I
so when
sold
it was,
some photos before, but I wouldn't call myself professional before that.
okay, and it was the passion that made you do this professionally.
Yeah. I mean, you missed that part, but I actually was working in a big American company in finance, in a very, very nice job and a great salary and not so busy. But I
Yeah.
was not happy because money didn't make me happy, and I realized it at the time. And I was looking to do something myself, and photography was a big passion of mine. So I actually resigned and decided to follow my passion, which is photography. And here I am.
And never regret it.
Not a single day, you know. I do miss my salary. I would love to have that salary again, but you know, it's not a big problem. I mean, I know that with money you don't buy happiness; you just buy
No,
stuff. And
absolutely not.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this course is then also like it doesn't matter what type of photography we would be interested in. It's let's say in my case, what I've been reading and also trying to do this myself as an amateur. For example, the food photography is quite difficult because you have to also know food styling and you have to have the setting, and it's not like you go outside and you just kind of have the eye and the lighting in the right place and you take nice picture of scenery. Is this considered also during the course?
Yeah. So a lot of things we teach during the 4 and 8 weeks program is for all kind of type of photography, portrait, landscape, etc. What I can promise you is that you want to learn different styles anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know any photographer who only knows one style and doesn't have a clue about others. I mean, I don't know any successful photographer. Because everything you learn from different styles, first of all, it will help you love photography more, because it could be, you know, I mean, the idea is that you do what you love, right? So you don't want to see it just as a job. But also everything you learn will give you some tools that you can reapply. I mean, in landscape, you really learn, for example, about composition rules. And you know what? Food photography will benefit a lot by doing a good composition.
Yeah.
Right? In portrait, you learn about light like crazy. You know, when you try to manage light and have a good light on a face. Guess what? In food photography, you really, really need to know about light.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everything you learn is going to be an additional tool for you to use. And also, you never know what you will love in the future. I started with events. Then I did a lot of landscapes, and now I love portraits. I didn't know I would love portraits before, but I just, you know, things change, you change. It's an artist. As an artist, you should change anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also something that you change a little bit the style once you become better and you realize, okay, now I can do this, and
Yes.
yeah, it's part of the evolving process.
Yes, you should see two types of improvement, and in any case, I think especially in photography, one, and that it's really easy to observe as you share your images. If everybody starts to like your images more and more, like they see that, you know, you get more nod of heads, that means you're improving technically. That means you are doing a better job of whatever you were trying to do. If you start to see some people falling in love with your photos and some people don't even get it, that means you're improving artistically.
Interesting.
You know, they look at, some people look at your photos are like, wow, this is really special. I see what you were doing there. And then some people like, okay, I don't get it. And that's an artistic signature. That means that you are really being personal in that photo. And that's a great improvement too.
Okay, yeah, you start to do it your own and find your own way of photographing.
Exactly. So this is a journey that has to have both all the time.
Also, just one question about, let's say, as a career option. And for example, in Switzerland, is this something that there's a lot of photographers and there's more maybe, let's say, supply than there is a need, or it's kind of a balance that there's a lot of, let's say, there are a lot of photographers as professionals, but at the same time, there's also need?
There are a lot of people who take photos. Okay, and it doesn't mean obviously that they are good photographers. And there are a lot of photographers who don't know the business side. And it's so easy to compete with them. I mean, the reason I could just leave my job and create the Switzerland's biggest photography club in 1 year is not by chance. I mean, it's basically, that's the only reason. There's nobody else who can do both at the same time. So this is why we are trying to teach both the business side and the photography side. I really believe that you can be very successful if you understand both. And if you really understand that whatever you do, you're managing your business. It's not just an artist just taking some photos and suddenly people are jumping on you to get a piece of your work. You learn how to market, you learn how to sell, you learn how to make a good website, you learn how to make a good impression. And then if you're shooting a wedding, you know how to welcome the couple, to show their photos for the first time, what to wear even for that time, you know, all kind of small details that, you know, emphasize your business.
To consider. Okay, that's very interesting.
And I have a question about the course. I think, if I'm not wrong, you told me that there are 5 persons course, yeah? The groups are included 5 persons.
Maximum 5, I think. In the
maximum 5.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I think because this program has been only once so far in the past in Zurich, and in Geneva, we just started basically. So we are getting more registrations, but I think you guys gonna be in a group of 2 or 3 people.
Okay, so yeah, it's good. And What about teachers? Will you be our teacher, or there are?
I'm the teacher in Geneva, for sure. Well, one of the teachers. We have in Zurich different teachers. I usually teach the business of photography, but in Zurich. I mean, last time I taught it, but I think in next time it's going to be another photographer in Zurich. But I will be here, of course, if you have any, basically any questions. Depends on the schedule. I might even be able to do some of the classes in Zurich because I go to Zurich quite often because of the business. So when I'm there, I do classes.
And can we know some about their backgrounds and their professions?
Yeah,
because
basically.
Teachers are really the basic of a course.
Yes. So, for example, in Zurich, let me open the photographers. I show you the photographers that usually teach. Okay, so Anatia, she teaches the last time she taught the which one did she teach? Yeah, she taught the ways of seeing, the study part of photographers, and she also taught vision and style.
Yeah.
Where's Stefan? Kim did the practices. Miller did the practice workshops. Stefan Schumi did the photo one, and the image, and he did, I think, maybe one or two of the. No, he did the photo one. He's a great guy. You love him, and but all of them are great. I think it was Severin who did the. Where's Severin? Yeah, it's either Sebastian or Severin. Where's Severin? I don't know why he's not. Oh. Yeah, probably Silvano might be able to do the begin photo one as well. And I don't know, I cannot find Severin. Yeah, there you go, Severin, here, the one with the beard. He did the Photoshop and the imaging one. But again, I mean, basically what we always do is that we put the best instructors who does that teaching anyway to give you the class. Usually the instructor assignment will depend on their own assignments as well. Because some instructors are basically busy in certain times of the year for wedding, whatever. So the moment the course is confirmed, then we look at our instructors, their availability, and then we basically agree to put in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that you will never have an instructor who never taught that course before. You always have somebody who's already experienced in teaching that course.
Yeah, sure.
And the thing is that we have all of our, one big difference versus maybe other photography courses is that we have the content all standardized. You could start in Geneva and continue in Zurich, any course. So it's always the same slides, just filled up with example photos are replaced with their own photos most of the time. But the structure is always given. I mean, we don't leave to the instructor how to teach a beginner.
Yeah.
So this is one of the key things that is appreciated. So there's one master deck that we improve all the time. And then it's deployed every 3 months to the instructors to update their own versions.
Okay.
So it's a tried and tested deck that the structure that you will go through. The instructor will not just make it up as you go, which was my observation in New York, for example, that the instructors were just making it up whenever they were at the course.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I realized, sorry, I just realized that the Zurich Swiss Photo Club page, I tried to open it and I couldn't, and that was already like a couple of days ago when I was looking at it.
Maybe there was an update being done at the time.
But it's still, I cannot.
Can you try it? I'll just send you a link on the chat. It opens.
Yes, maybe then.
Maybe the link is not correct. Wait a second. Where's the chat?
Under the
chat.
It's under, it should be.
Yeah, got it. You received it?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now it works. Good. Yeah. Okay.
It's the same information, just the instructors are different, of course, because it's the Swiss German region instructors.
Yeah. And then there is also like aside of this more it's intensive, let's say courses or the course that will give you the certificate, but then you obviously, I mean, you organize just generally like courses where if we want to get a little bit more accustomed to the photography and the basics, then there's just like courses, shorter courses, but it doesn't give any certificate or anything. It's more just to give the knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, all other courses, you still get a completion certificate that you did that specific course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I mean, if you think about going to an instructor, going to a job with like 7 certificates, each of them is like 4 hours here, 2 hours there, 3 hours there. It's not going to be the same as going into an 8 weeks or 12 weeks course. So it will not have the same.
Okay.
Whenever you complete anything, if you want, we can give you a completion certificate.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have another question. You told that as it said in the plans that we can attend some extra courses for free when we attend the for example, 8 weeks program. And I wanted to know, don't they overlap our courses hours?
No.
Or
So the practice workshops, I'll explain what is so it's called member, but it's actually practice workshops. So basically the practice workshops means that you have specific 2 hours dedicated to something specific.
mm-hmm.
For example, here in awe of still life. So this is like still life photography. I think, Eva, that would be your favorite. Okay, and then passion for food also. Streets of Bern, street photography, portrait photography, outdoor, full moon special, high key. So basically in this practice workshops mean for 2 hours you practice something specific and the instructor determines whatever they want to show at for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only shooting.
Sorry, it's more?
It's only shooting, it's just practice.
Okay. So there's no like technicalities being taught or anything.
I mean, yes, sometimes the instructors are very nice and they do some kind of a PDF to send you, but normally it's just go and shoot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's I think great for practicing photography and knowing. Yeah, and when we do it, when we do practicing, for example, the tutor or the teacher tells us our problems or what can make us better in this area.
Of course.
In the skills.
Yeah. For example, I just did a practice workshops for night photography just 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Another one coming up next week, I think, about outdoor portraits with flash. And basically what I do is I always, in the beginning, I explain very little quickly the concept. Obviously, we don't go through the basics because you're supposed to know the basics if you're doing practice. And then you start shooting. And then I'm there to help. I'm not shooting myself. I'm just there to give ideas. We go, we shoot, we change.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I love it. Yeah.
And normally you have to become a member to join this for free, or you have to pay 90 francs each, but for these ones, you will be able to join for free during your course.
Yeah, perfect.
So you become a member at the same time.
Mm. Yeah.
And this is under the upcoming event or courses.
So you'll find it under courses and then practice workshops. Then they are filtered for practice workshops.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
These are great and a lot of fun because then you will also meet different instructors. You will meet other members, other enthusiasts. People really appreciate it, and it's all over Switzerland. It'll be Solothurn, Bern, Basel, Zurich, everywhere.
Oh, that's great.
Also in Geneva and Lausanne, of course.
And
Yeah.
sorry, another question, I think maybe my last question, that is it scheduled yet for classes on 8 weeks program, for example, dates and hours, or we need to be closer to the October 19th?
No, the hours are not yet scheduled for October 19th, but we will schedule it as soon as we can.
Mm-hmm.
It's still some time to go for October, so.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this course is confirmed with 2 people, then we start to schedule it. If it's only 1 person registered, then we usually offer either a full refund or, I mean, anyway, we will reschedule it.
Uh-huh.
So you will have an option between full refund or going with the new date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to have minimum 2 people.
Minimum 2 people, yes.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, from my side, there's no further questions. Other than that, I would be really interested to then hear if there will be any, was it the 12-week course organized in Zurich? Because you told us the 21st of September, but then if there is another one organized in English later
Yeah,
on.
the 21st of September, also in German, in Zurich. I will check with the Zurich programming to see what we can do, and I'll let you know. I think we might be able to start one mid-October.
Yes, if that would be.
I will let you know.
Okay, that would be great. Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, thanks a lot, Osan. It was really helpful, and I think I'm gonna enroll the program.
Great.
Yeah, and yeah, I have no other question. So it just the thing that remains is that the 2 minimum, another person will join, and we can start the course without any problem.
Yes, it's becoming really popular. Last time I had another 4 people in the call. Now we have, 3 of you. Roman was trying to join at some point, but she couldn't. I think I'll just call her separately. So I think we will be able to fill up, and should be okay normally. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, then, yes, thank you from my
Very
side
nice
as
meeting
well.
both of you. Thank
Yes,
you very much.
same. Thank you, and looking forward to hear about the courses in Zurich.
Yes, Eva, I will get back to you with the
Okay.
12 weeks program. And Zeynep, I look forward to receiving you at our 8 weeks program.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'll do that.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Have a
Thanks
good
a
day.
lot.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.